Oh my God, Anthony, I finally made it to one of the coolest spots that I've ever been to. Absolutely loving it.
Can't wait to hear it.
Me too.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality.
Hey, Anthony Fury, how are you today? I, of course, am Glenn Hausman. Great to see you, dude.
It's great to be seen. Tell me about your beautiful adventure.
I will tell you about my beautiful adventure. First of all, I am here. How awesome is this?
Wow.
And that is a real video picture right now. I'm, of course, at the Fairmont Banff Springs. But before we talk about that, let me just get right into what I got to say today. Guys, next week I'm going to the lodging conference, and the team from Radisson is going to be there. And if you're going to be there, I would love for you to take a chance. Go say hello to Jim Walderman, their CEO. Go say hello to Phil Hugh, their Chief Development Officer, and talk to them about all the incredible changes that are happening at Radisson that's going to help you make more money when you invest in a property with Radisson Americas. They're a really great team. They're doing sorts of great stuff. So go check them out next week at the lodging conference. Find them at Radisson Hotels America. You see that down there. Please do it and tell them Glenn and Anthony sent you. Anthony, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. So tell me about the drive, the 7-hour drive to where you were.
Well, it's a 7-hour drive for normal people, but if you accidentally make the wrong turn, you should have made a left at Albuquerque. You might have gone an hour or so out of your direction, adding an extra 2 hours to your trip.
Albuquerque's in Canada?
No, I'm just doing the old Warner Brothers Bugs Bunny cartoon. I should have made a left at Albuquerque.
I'm teasing. Uh-huh.
So anyway, it was great. I left Edmonton and I went on this long drive alone. And what was really cool is that good chunks of the drive had no cell service or anything like that, but I still had the Sirius XM service. So I was able to put on some great music. I was able to drive through the mountains, and I got to go through Icefield Glacier Park. How cool!
I've never been there. I've been to a lot of places. I've never been there.
Yeah, it's so super beautiful because, again, I'll bring up this picture. As you can see, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Sorry for the reflection in the windows. But
so that's an actual picture you took. That's your view.
It's not a picture. This is a live video image. I got my iPad over there in the window over there doing it. So
that's a live. So if somebody shows up on that deck, we're going to see them.
Yeah. So hold on. Let me see. I can move it. So you won't be able to hear me, but I should be able to hear you.
Wow, that is absolutely cool. And that's why I love hospitality. That's why I love hotels. You walk into a hotel room, you open up your drapes, and that's your background.
All right, good. Let's bring this picture back. I accidentally turned it off. Hold on one second. I got to go back to it.
That is absolutely insane. Now, you could have left it alone.
Right.
Beautiful.
Sorry, I closed that view. Oh well, I don't want to make you guys feel bad. So I went out of my way, but I'm going through Glacier National Park, and all of a sudden I had to stop the car because there's this giant caribou in the middle of the road. And I mean, these antlers were like 6-8 feet across.
Did you get a video of it?
No, I didn't, because I couldn't really stop at that point. But Anthony, I saw even something cooler than a caribou. And I was really super excited about this. So I'm driving. And then all of a sudden, all these cars are pulled over on the side of the road, right? And what was really cool about it was I pull over. I'm like, what's going on? And I walk over to the other side of the street. And lo and behold, dude.
A chicken was crossing the road.
No, he had already gotten to the other side earlier because he was running away from the bear that was there. A brown bear feeding no more than 30 or 40 feet from where we were. And by we, I mean all the other people who had pulled over to see this incredible natural sight. And that bear dude was just sitting there chewing, didn't even notice that all these people were taking pictures and shooting videos of him. It was one of the coolest things that I've ever seen in nature until I get back in the car and I go and I see this incredible glacier that looks like, it's frozen, of course, but it looks like it's streaming down in between these two mountains. And it was one of the most phenomenal views I've ever seen. So I'm a dummy. I made a wrong turn, but those two things made it absolutely worth the entire drive.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
You go back thousands of years. That is exactly how everyone lived. Like, you would live with the bears and the lion, and you would live with the animals and the glaciers and the ice. Right. And now, like I was just talking to somebody, we're so soft. We get in our nice cars, we push our button, we put the air conditioner on, and we go. And then you see what really inspired me when you just said that, or really lit a light bulb, was like I can't believe I'm seeing this natural wonder.
Right.
It's taking you into your 50s to see something that our ancestors saw every day and had to live with and ran away from them because they're going to get eaten.
I got eaten by. But I'll tell you, it was not lost on me because just what you said, I'm driving through this amazing national park and I'm thinking to myself, wow, what was it like before roads and cars and the struggle and really super difficult it must have been for humanity to go and explore. So
that's the conversation I was having with this gentleman, that's the reason I think we have a lot of the problems that we have. Right. If you're struggling to put food on the table, you're too busy to worry about your neighbor. You just want your neighbor may be dinner. Right. So you're not going to talk about anything other than feeding your family. And I think that, and not saying people aren't struggling, whether it be financially or medically, but like you understand that as soon as you're born, that just an innate struggle to survive.
Yes, and do not worry. This is not another Ask Anthony and Glenn Day. We are lazy, but not that lazy. We got two guests coming up right now, but in order to bring them in properly, Anthony, yesterday was a great opportunity for me. I got the was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago already. It was a great opportunity to speak to the Alberta Hotel and Lodging Association. One of the issues that they're having, and one of the things that I spoke to and I was able to speak to because of the information we've gotten from our two amazing guests in the past and keeping up with the trends here is they're suffering as much as the United States is with staffing issues. Here at this incredible hotel, I was having internet troubles getting on the Wi-Fi, so they hooked me up. They were here. We were talking to them. We were having a conversation. And even in this beautiful, incredible place, which people would want to work in, they're still struggling. So I think it's time for us to talk about these labor issues in a more meaningful way. And that's why today we've got Peter Ricci with us returning to the show. And of course, Jeremy Nichols over here. Peter Ricci, of course, is with FAU. And Jeremy Nichols, it is so great to see you. You're, of course, a recruiter with Gecko Hospitality. Gentlemen, how are you going today? What's going on with you? What's the situation out there? What the heck is going on? And when are hotel owners going to realize that they've got to do things differently in order to keep people engaged and satisfied and wanting to work with them? I've asked 40 questions in one. I'm going to be up for the next 45 minutes. Welcome to the show, guys. Anthony, do you want to say hello to these guys or anything before we let them?
Yeah, move away from the coffee, please, as he's putting coffee in the mouth.
Thank you for having us, gentlemen.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Great. It's great. It's always great fun. I try to watch you guys whenever I can, and you always put a smile. It's so great. So, I put on LinkedIn, it's got to be 4 months ago, a request for any CEO to come forward of any hospitality business. And let's have a chat about being creative. I got a wonderful call from Bolé, which has about 19 stores here in Florida. They're fresh food, fast kind of concept. And Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza. I haven't chatted with anyone else yet, but I tell you, I keep seeing Sloan from Remington out and about, and his culture just says, we are there, we're going to make it. So I really think Remington might be a place to look at. But I'm so optimistic that we're going to change something. If there's anything we've changed already, it's entry-level wages. They've gone up.
Well, you know what? One of the things I'm really glad, this question is for both of you because this has been on my mind and I've been talking about it from time to time. This is my concern. It's not wages. It's not even the gig mentality. It's not the generation. It's none of that. It's that guys that look like us that are sitting in these corporate offices, they're saying the right things, but they're not doing anything about it. And so I really truly believe they're like, oh yeah, it's difficult and I understand. But I don't see anybody being ultra creative. Jeremy,
can I piggyback off? Yeah, I want to piggyback off that because you bring a good point and it actually kind of brings full circle why Peter and I are on right now, because it was like 3 months ago we were on. And this was when employers were just talking a lot about how when the unemployment runs out, that all of a sudden we're going to get this rush of people coming in, right?
It didn't happen, Jeremy, right?
And then you said, and we said, bring us back in September, and hopefully we're wrong. And I'm in Florida.
Sorry, Jeremy, you're correct.
Well, I said it was not going to be like, we're not going to get this huge swath of people running in. They're just gone. So instead of sitting back and waiting for people to run back from unemployment and they're just sitting around collecting it. Let's be progressive about our recruiting, and let's really talk about and be about how to retain talent. It's not just about recruiting, but retaining talent. And God, I mean, I can go on forever, but Anthony, you're spot on. Like, there's a lot of talk, but I think that there's a lack of empathy and understanding, and really understanding why people left and what are we going to do not only to bring them back, but to also retain them.
But you know what? And I think not to cut you off, Jeremy, but you just hit a nerve with me, and I mean in a good way. You hit my nerve. That
I never hit his nerve.
They are looking at it almost, and I'm not saying hospitality, hotels. I'm talking about in general.
Yeah,
okay? There's a lot of great people out there trying to solve this problem, but they're almost resentful that the pendulum has swung. That, now I got to pay them $18 an hour. And now I got to give them 2 weeks off. And now they want to work from home 1 day a week. And now they want this and now they want that. Well, what happened when you had your thumb on their neck and they had to be there 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, working for, $9 an hour after taxes? They can barely make rent. And you were fine. You went home to your nice car, your nice house, and you were like, oh, there's 1,000 of them, so I'm not worried about them. Now all of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, we don't want the job for $27 an hour, 3 weeks vacation, and a Bentley. We don't want to do that. So now they're resentful. I am seeing, no one's saying it, but, mommy raised no fool. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm reading people's minds. I'm telling you, they're resentful.
Well, you're spot on. One of the most.
Let me just say one thing. They are saying it, but they're not saying they're resentful. They're saying that people are lazy and don't want to work for a living. That, to me, and this is what we've said on this show before, and this is what I told the Alberta Hotel and Lodging Association before, is that they're not lazy. You, the hotelier out there, when I've been speaking to you on the road, this year and a half that we were down, a full year that we were all trapped in our houses, you told me that you're reevaluating your lives. You're rethinking everything. So why are you shocked to believe that all of the people that weren't making a whole lot of money are saying, you know what? I'm not going to work for the man anymore. I'm going to chase my dreams. I'm going to do what's right for me. What the hell? I've got nothing to lose. And until hoteliers start to realize that they need to make proactive changes, they're the ones that are going to suffer. You could blame all day long, but that's not going to solve the problem.
So Jeremy, what were you saying?
I was going to say something, but now I'm going to piggyback off of what Glenn said, and that's about the wages. Let's just take away the whole fluff of empathy and understanding and walking the walk. Let's just talk business, right? And business says right now, most candidates, not all of them, there's still like niches in the industry that are looking for work still. But like in food and beverage, especially in a lot in operations, they own the market and they are telling you what the market dictates. It doesn't matter what you think they deserve. They're telling you what they're going to take. And I'm on the phone every single day with job offers, right? Mm-hmm. This is what I do for a living. And there's an increase in a lot of positions. Let's just talk about chefs right now.
Right.
2019 sous chefs, that range here in Florida for like a regular sous chef role, 55 to 60. Right now, they're asking for 65 to 70. And there's employers that are scoffing and rolling their eyes about it. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's like, it's the market, like your house, right? You can have the same home in Miami as the same one in Iowa. But the market dictates that in Miami, it's twice or maybe 3 times more. That's what the market dictates. And that's what you have to pay to get them. So that's the candidates really do have a lot of power right now. Again, there's people watching that are probably a little like rolling their eyes because they might not have jobs, like, your convention sales, your business travel. I get it. But a huge swath of hospitality talent, they have the run right now. If
you don't have a job right now and you need a job, you have to pivot, right? Every couple of years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, people got to pivot. People got to change. There were a lot of people in Detroit on the automobile lines. Now they're running the tech or they're doing something else. You have to change. So if you're already, we're 2 years into this and you're like, well, this position doesn't look like it's come back for another 2 years. This is not a COVID problem. This is a you problem because you're not being creative and you're not shifting. But before we move on, very, very important, Glenn, I found something.
What'd you find, Anthony?
Something people have been looking for forever.
Oh, you mean my dignity?
Jeremy is Banksy.
No.
Oh, hey,
dude, you're Banksy?
Yeah,
you guys.
Jeremy, tell me about.
Not many people notice this here. But,
so tell me about that Banksy behind you, Jeremy.
I'm not Banksy. I wish I knew who Banksy was. Right?
But tell me about that.
Why do I have it there?
Yes.
Why do I have it? Well, I mean, I'm just a fan of the whole Banksy.
But isn't that very valuable? Isn't that the one he gave to?
No, it's not the real Banksy.
The illustration that then self-destructed after someone.
Yes.
No. He about 10 years ago. No, about 7 years ago. He went on the streets and he set up a shop in New York City. Yeah. And the first thing that he sold out of that shop was that painting or that print. And he gave it to people for, I think he was selling them for $60. And now the originals are worth like 30 or 40,000. So that one behind him was sold for $60 on the streets of New York.
Absolutely love like just the whole mystery of Banksy. And I put it there because I always wonder if someone's going to catch that, and you did. So that's awesome.
Hey man, that's what happens when you have a little bit of a TikTok addiction.
Yeah.
So there's people watching going, "Who's Banksy?" and typing it in right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Peter, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So, it's like I hear music because we're all singing to the choir here, but people are resentful. So, you know what? My thing is every conference I've been to lately, every meeting, oh, don't be so negative. I keep saying, hello, has anybody realized I'm posting others' comments? I'm not being negative. So let's move on that. What I see right now is that the pendulum has swung, the people have spoken, and yes, entry-level wages have already gone up, whether it's 5%, 8%, 12%, whatever market you're in. That's not enough. That's enough to try and stay alive right now. What really concerns me is the national downturn in hospitality enrollments, the distaste in young people's mouths about hospitality because they're hearing it from their father, their mother, their older brother, their aunt, their uncle, their neighbor. And so the CEOs and the leaders who still have their heads in the sand, they can't be in the sand for long or they're going to be ousted from their seats. So, my creative mind, I've been working with some hotels, some country clubs. One of them just threw the schedule on the wall for the front office and said, you guys fill it out. So they have people working 4 days off 3, another one doing 5 days off and then 10 days straight because they want to go on a trip. We can build in flexibility and do some of these other things that everybody looks outside and says, oh, it's so fabulous to work remote. Oh, we can do this easily if we just put our minds to it. But running away from it and having resentment it's unacceptable to me. I was at a meeting not long ago where someone spoke up and kind of bashed everybody in the room for trying to push entry-level wages and said it's a housing cycle. When the housing bubble bursts, the rents will go down. And I said, I've lived in Florida since I was 12. I don't remember them ever going backward. It's always been more of a struggle. Right. I thought you would find this interesting that one general manager separated his large staff of room attendants into those with 15 years and more experience, those 5 to 15, and those under 5. And the lower experience you had, the more struggles you were having because you've never made an appropriate wage to pay the cost of living in the market where he is.
Right.
Whereas the senior ones were homeowners, they were established, and they didn't have the same pressure and concern as the younger ones. So we have a lot of issues. We need a PR campaign across the whole industry for young people because they're not going to come. I've had students this semester that were supposed to start. I've had parents tell me to help them change their major, tell them please. And I'm this is the world's greatest industry for service.
I will tell you, Peter, there's 2 or 3 shows that we're bouncing around. And one's getting a little bit of traction. It has to do with, we'll just say, the marketing of hospitality. And so, listen, I talk about it all the time. Suzanne, our producer, I just got off the phone with her for another idea that I have. So I'm thinking about it all the time. And I think this show helps kind of create interest. Because if you watch this show from day one and you were a little bit interested in hospitality and you really put in the time to listen to our show, take notes, and follow up, which I don't know how many people have done that, and you're a young person and you're not in love with this industry, there's something wrong with you and you should go get your head examined. Because, all you got to do is look at outside of Glenn's window and you get to work in that environment. Now, if you were born there, and you may not understand that, but if you were born in Brooklyn and you understand that I can go work there, now after 2 years, to your point, you get bored, you want to make more money, you go somewhere else. Now you go to Hawaii, then you go to Europe, and then you go wherever the hell you want to go. Someone's going to give you a living, and what's great about that living, I'll tell you what I am really passionate about is you're living in New York and you're working at the front desk and you're sick and tired of working weekends. Okay. So guess what? You can find a job somewhere in the world that doesn't make you work weekends in some position, in some resort or some office or something that they will be able to work around your schedule. And that is the exciting part. But, I can't say I'm disappointed in what I'm seeing with some executives. It's not all of them, certainly. If you're 55 years old and you're thinking like a 55-year-old, you should be fired immediately. You should be thinking like a freshman in college.
Yes.
You should be thinking about, okay, what do I want to do in 4 or 5 years? What is my degree going to be in? And unfortunately, I was just with someone yesterday. Actually, Suzanne was in the meeting with me, and this gentleman is 58 years old, and he thinks like he's 20.
Right. Good.
He's running a major organization. And that's what we need. We need people that just remember what it was like to be full of promise and hope. And we have to meet them where they are. I'm sorry, Jeremy, you want to say something?
Well, I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. And maybe it made me start thinking, not just to elaborate on why our industry is so awesome. And there's all these like opportunities to get youth and get the bench built for our talent by promoting like all like the great spots that we're in. Like think about like there's perks and benefits that you can do to retain your talent that you're probably not even thinking about. Like if you're at a resort and spa and you have another property or a restaurant across the street or in the same neighborhood, why not partner up with those businesses and give them perks? Like say you like this restaurant across the street, if you get an employee of the month, instead of giving them a Target gift card for $25 or a pizza party, give them a night with their family at that restaurant. Right. And then in return, give the restaurant a night at your spa. Like think outside the box.
There's two problems with that. I love that. And there's two problems with that. One, those people giving out 25 gift cards are lazy. Okay. Number one. And number two, they're like,
but it's happening.
No good deed goes unpunished. Right. So I give all these perks, I give them everything they want, and they leave anyway. I was in a situation when I was a younger manager. I literally did everything for the employee of the month. We sent her on vacation. She got stuck somewhere. We sent a car to drive her and her family because they had to get back to New York. Whatever they wanted, we did. The next day, she left me.
Wow. All right, guys. I've got some ideas of things that hotel companies are doing that I researched for part of the presentation that I did my keynote speech over at the Alberta Hotel and Lodging Association on Tuesday. The first one is Aimbridge. We all know Aimbridge. They bought a company up here in Canada called Bellstar. And what they are doing is they're allowing general managers to share workers among properties while also letting individuals who have the time and interest to pick up hours and overtime. So this opens them up to getting a lot more additional hours, or a full-time employee can get extra shifts to pay for, their college education.
But they're all within the Aimbridge family.
Yes, all within there. Yes, correct. That's one idea that I saw. I've got a couple more. What do you guys think of that?
I like it. Another thing, piggyback on what Jeremy said, and along those lines, if we're spending $1,000 a month on employee benefits or $2,000, whatever the number is, why have we always dictated that you pick health insurance, dental, this? Why not say to the employee, here's your allowance. You can pick from these 10 things.
Right.
Maybe it's daycare. Maybe it's tuition reimbursement. Maybe it's car transportation or bus transportation. We've always mandated this is what works for us. The same with our schedules, 11 to 3, 11 to 7, 3 to 11, whatever it is. We've mandated that historically. So why don't we just listen? So what they're doing there is they're listening. Hey, the GMs talk much more together than we do on a daily basis. They'll know who needs what. Let's share employees. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that idea. And you know what it is? Because we've put our own, like, you need health insurance, like you need dental care, like you need that. Like I'll give an example. I have somebody close to me who's working in a hotel, and they don't need medical benefits or because they have
Because she's your daughter?
from someone else. No, actually, it's not my daughter.
Just kidding.
But they have health benefits from their wife, and they decided to okay, I don't want it. So why don't you give them something else? Because you're going to spend that money anyway. That money's allocated.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a really great idea. All right. So, friend of the show, Mark Ricketts, he's, of course, the president of McNeil Hospitality. What they're trying to figure out right now, they haven't done it yet. They said they haven't ruled out anything. They're calculating, trying to gather their facts in order to be able to offer part-time associates access to full-time benefits, including health, dental, and vision. What do you guys think about that idea?
Love it.
That's one of the most important things to candidates. Like, there's a lot of like the smaller properties or bed and breakfast or restaurants that don't have benefits. And honestly, like, if you want to ask me what the people are talking about, what candidates are talking about, benefits, work-life balance, of the scheduling that Peter was talking about is huge. Their hours, flexible hours. That's why a lot of them ran away to gig work. I mean, I don't want to ramble on and on and on, but salary is there, but it's usually number 4. And they just want to feel like they're part of something. And they want to be happy. They want to feel like part of the culture. And that's like super important for the younger talent out there.
Jeremy, when you said they ran away to something, I didn't hear what you said. What was it? What they run away?
Oh, a lot of them ran away, like especially the frontline workers, gig working.
Yeah.
So like, delivering groceries or like Uber. A lot of them went to some of the hospitality people went to senior living, pharmaceutical, healthcare, retail. Retail gobbled up a lot of our people.
How about Amazon?
Yeah.
Big. Oh, yeah. Of course. I'm sorry. E-commerce should have been number 2 on my gig work.
Yeah.
E-commerce,
Jeremy, we're seeing, like, I was driving up in Providence a few weeks ago when I was up there for Rosh Hashanah, and guys, stay at the Graduate Hotel in Providence if you have a chance to. Great property. I kept seeing billboards, Amazon jobs. Tired of working 9 to 5? Work at Amazon, earn $20 plus an hour. Up here in Canada, the same exact issue. The hoteliers that I was speaking to says it's really hard to compete when Amazon's paying $25, $26, $28 Canadian.
Let's face it. If you're in operations in a restaurant or a hotel, you got to be there. So the remote work is part of the issue, but there's flexibility by letting them choose what they want to do. Why can't they do 3-day long days? Because we've said no. Why can't they do 4 days on, 4 days off? Because we've historically said no. So even though we might not accommodate remote work unless you're in accounting or HR or one of those jobs, you can do it. We can still compete very well. And like Anthony said, you can move all over the world and have fun. We are the greatest industry to grow and be flexible with, but people right now feel resentment of how they were just abandoned during the pandemic. We need to move beyond it. We've got to just move.
And these ideas you guys are coming up with, and Glenn, the ones you mentioned, like, as a person that's been doing this for a long time, I didn't think of any of these things. I didn't think any of these things were impediments to how do we do better. So I'm sitting here saying, hey, they got to get out. They got to figure this out. And I don't know how to do that. But listening to you three, I'm like, okay, I would implement the things you just said tomorrow. If I was running a hotel or a company right now, I would literally implement everything you said tomorrow. What other good ideas can we implement?
One more good idea. Now, Kerry Ranson, he's the CEO of HP Hotels. Last time he was on the show, he wasn't CEO, but he got promoted during all of this.
Because he was on our show.
Yes, because he was on our side. Nothing to do with him being an amazing professional. All right, so he's going to be back on the show soon. But HB Hotels has put together a program for housekeepers now that are looking to earn extra money. Their whole hypothesis is in 6 to 7 hours, they should be able to clean 12 rooms with the type of product that they have. But for every extra room that they pick up in addition to their normal amount, they're paying an extra $3 per room cleaned properly. So they can stay past their scheduled shift, also receive that $3 extra per room and overtime as well. That means a housekeeper that was earning 13, 14 before could now put in the effort and get 18 to 20 and really maximize their income. What do you guys think about that final idea that I have today?
Yeah.
I love it. It's like thinking within the four walls, right? And being creative with what you have. And that's like the whole thing. Like, I don't want to ramble on about how to retain people, but like there's so much that we can do that doesn't really cost that much that are within the four walls of your operation. You can do it. You just got to be creative and bounce ideas off of other entrepreneurs and other business owners, but it's there.
Think about this easy one. If you don't have time off, how are you going to take advantage of your hotel's cheap rooms? First of all, plus during the so many comments we got, the cheap rooms aren't there anymore. They went from 29 to 49 to 79 to 99. You can go on one of the OTAs and get a better deal half of the time. So if we're really going to reward our employees, go back to the Hyatt style where you got so many free rooms a year and you could actually use them and you actually had PTO to take them and go enjoy yourself. That's a benefit. We've worked ourselves away from the inner core of hospitality, giving and taking care of the people. And we've got to get back, because I'll be passionate about this business till till the day I die.
You know, Suzanne and Glenn, maybe we should work on coming up with, I'm sure there's a graph out there. Where were we 15 years ago with hospitality employees? How many we needed? How many brands were there? And how many hotel rooms were there? I'd love to see that in the graph. You know, I'm sure that graph exists pretty easily. I'm sure somebody has it. I'm sure we can find it on Google at the very least, or get it from our friends at Star. But this, to me, is very, very interesting, because what have most of our friends, our executive friends, our directors, our presidents, our vice presidents of companies been? They've been very focused on outdoing their competition, and they're mostly, they're public companies. So they've been worried about their board of directors and their shareholders. And so as we were growing all of these markets and we were growing all of these brands, we literally forgot the engine. We were building the beautiful car. We were building the beautiful interior. We were competing with the Cadillacs and the Bentleys, but you didn't go and fix the engine. You didn't go and figure out what is keeping all this beauty together. So I think I don't know that reference.
You don't?
I've never watched a scary movie in my life.
Oh, that's too bad.
You 12 o'clock, scary enough. So
too many over here.
But my point being is, we've lost our way. We've become so good at making money for shareholders and owners. Listen, again, one of the reasons I decided to leave the industry, the formal way of being in the industry, was I was tired of making rich people richer, because I was good at it.
Right.
I was good at moving the needle. And I was a good boss, but I wouldn't say I was overly focused on all the things we're talking about. I was focused on not getting fired and making money for the owner.
Sure. Think about, the old days of Bristol Hotels and Resorts. They had sabbaticals for their GMs.
Right.
They let you rest for a few months after 7 years of work. There are many things we can do to go backward or forward by using these easy tools without sacrificing our profit margins that badly. Raising the entry-level wages, we're taking a hit now, but we've also not replaced our mid-level and senior level people yet at the salaries from before. So we're still okay to come up with ideas.
So I want to see what people are doing for the general managers, assistant general managers, and supervisors that stayed the last 18 months, that worked 40 rooms a day, cleaning 40 rooms a day, doing everything they would do 7 days a week. I want to see if those hotels get a little bit of air and a little bit of breath, What are they going to do for those general managers? Are they going to give them a 2-month sabbatical? Are they going to give them a full year salary? What are they going to do to really say thank you? Not to get somebody. If I was general manager and somebody handed me a gift card to Target for $50, I'd blow their car up.
The problem is they're so busy they probably won't do anything. And then if they do something, are they going to give them the time off to use it? So you got to step back a minute and listen to Glenn. Like, let's share employees. Let's give them overtime. Let's give them great wages. But at some point, we're going to burn them out. That's our industry problem. So we need to infuse what Jeremy said, their request for work-life balance and a chance to pursue my dream within hospitality.
But also, I'm sorry, Glenn.
Go ahead.
I want to say this, but also the young lady we talked to yesterday from Accor. Where's her name? I'm sorry.
McCrory, you're talking about?
Right. Yeah. So there's something. She had all the things we talked about, right? She had the passion. She had everything, but she had something that is required, unfortunately, and it's very rare. They want to be there.
Right.
And that is rare. I'm sorry. So we can talk about schedules. We can talk about hours. We can talk about pay. All of that's going to eventually go away if you don't want to be there. And again, talking from experience, this business almost killed me.
Right.
Okay. And if it almost killed me, and you can't kill me. If it almost killed me, what is it doing to those people that like it? They like it. Liking it isn't enough. When we spoke to her yesterday, she was coming through the camera. Okay. And unfortunately, in our industry, you need to have that. And people say, well, not everybody has to have that. Listen, if you want to really run a successful business, you've got to find those people and maybe not build such big hotels. Maybe have to close half of your hotel. You have to find those people. You have to mentor those people. Those people will build a great management company. If you don't do it that way, you're going to get people that like the industry. And then when shit hits the fan, they're done.
Yeah.
Right.
And to get those people, that's why we need the culture and to set up the parameters to make them happy.
Jeremy.
I want to bring up like a little bit of an elephant in the room. So maybe you guys agree with me, maybe you don't. But this actually impacts my wallet in a bad way because when there's less HR, I get more job orders, I have more business. But a huge issue was when COVID hit, HR was like the first to go, period. Not just like your HRDs, but I'm talking like your training managers, your onboarding managers, your HR coordinators gone, right? So now you have your HRDs during COVID, where like cleaning your rooms, tending bar, running front desk, and assuming all the positions, right, that they had to let go. So a lot of that talent left. They went because they're super transferable. HR can go in a lot of other directions and they can pivot easily. But now there's a gap. And if you want to talk about like recruiting and retaining, that's HR. And a huge portion of keeping talent and making them feel good is the onboarding part, their first day. Like they don't want to show up, not have their business card, their name tag made, not have their schedule, not even know who their trainer is. Oh, it's Brian. Oh, where's Brian today? Oh, he's off. Where do you go? And you just kind of stick him with Stacy, who's miserable, right? Just like no planning. And it's just a hot mess. And you really want to retain your people, give them that good onboarding, the feeling, right? So I think that I'm not even in HR. I sound like I'm like a spokesperson for them. But I mean, really, if you want to have the people stay, you need to have that onboarding piece. Really have to dial that in. And I think that HRDs need that support and they need that onboarding manager.
I'll go one step further. First of all, I agree with Glenn. Did you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
First, I agree with you 100%. But then HR becomes punitive, right? HR becomes the place, the principal's office, right? Or where you sign up for medical benefits. I've never thought of it this way, but I'm going to say it because I had an experience with an HR manager back early in my career when I was hired for my dream job at the Plaza Hotel. And the HR manager, because I was so insecure, so like freaking out that I'm going to work at the Plaza, he became my therapist. Okay. He became someone I was so comfortable going to, someone that I can call and say, I don't know what I'm doing. What should I do? Well, go speak to this person. So HR needs to level up. It needs to become something more than just what it is. HR, human resources. not human paperwork,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
human medical benefits, but human resources. And one of the things that most of us need, especially now, is therapy. I'm not in therapy, but I can probably use a lot of it.
Should be.
And but
Great.
I'm old enough to know where I need to get my therapy through gym, through whatever,
Right.
through poker. I figure out my mental health, right? I've gotten that thing pretty wrapped in. I know when I need to just go. When I was a young manager, my human resources department really helped me. And then as I kind of came through the ranks, and I'll be the first one to admit, I didn't do a good job at human resources. I didn't understand it really, and probably till now, is we need to understand that human resources is for humans and to give them resources.
All right. Speaking of humans, turns out Peter has other human jobs to do. Go meet with people, go do things. You got a heart out here, apparently. So any final thoughts, and then we'll let you go, sir.
I just want to say this on piggyback on Anthony. We have moved away from the culture and the care and the compassion for the employees and having fun leading to profits. Human resources is where it's all about. I mean, we need to just get on top of building a culture of can do. And like you all said, the people have to want to be there. The profits will come. We've all, I love that. I love that what he said about, not looking at the engine. We've become so distracted on the bells and whistles and the wall coverings and all that. We forgot what we're in the business for. Yeah. So, HR is at the center, and it's the heart that beats, that gets us the profits.
Right. Excellent. Well, thank you, Peter, for being here. Plug your school.
FAU, Florida Atlantic University. Come visit Boca Raton. The weather's gorgeous year round, and come study online if you can't come to South Florida. And I appreciate you guys so much. This industry, I love it. I will to the day I die, and it's just a matter of us doing some creative stuff.
Right. Excellent. Thank you, Peter. We appreciate
your background.
We'll get you back.
Thank you, guys.
See you.
Peter.
On all these problems that we're having, Glenn, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that people aren't realizing is we're going through a friggin' pandemic, and people are burnt. Forget about politics and all that stuff. People are just burnt. So it's not that people have given up. Like even that, like people I know, people who are close friends of mine, they haven't given up, but they just don't give a shit.
Right.
Like they're going to do things their way. And they're going to maybe have a little lower standard, and they just don't give a shit. It's like, listen, I'm going to worry about my well-being, my mental health, my family, and maybe I'm not going to make the money I thought I was going to make. Maybe I was going to have the career I was going to make. But you know what? I don't care. And we have the technology to make sure most people really can kind of do whatever they want on their own.
Yeah. Jeremy, we've only got a couple of minutes with you left because we've got another great guest coming up. Well, I understand as a surprise, so we're gonna stick around for that. But Jeremy, one other thing that I've been thinking about is we talk about the young people. What about older folks that have left their workforce but still want to feel vital, still want to do things? What do you think about getting some older people to work in your hotel behind the front desk?
Of course. I'm all about diversity. If you look at my recruiters, I have the team of recruiters aging from 24 to 75. Yeah, 75.
That's
and
awesome.
He specializes in CAM and country club recruiting. And he knows things that I could never know about the industry because that is such a specific niche. And that's the deal when you do hiring and recruiting it. Yeah, bringing on the young, that I'm talking more about bench and the future of our industry. But there's so much talent out there, and we should not be looking at what age it is. It's more what they can bring to the table. So I can go on and on about that.
I'm going to ask you a very difficult question, and I apologize in advance, but it's something you deal with every day, and it's something that nobody talks about. But you hear that 50-year-old white guy saying, I can't get a job because I'm a 50-year-old white guy. And, do you hear those conversations?
That's not a difficult question for me. I talk about that probably more than I should. But it does happen. And there is ageism. There is. And I don't want to go on a whole tirade about it. And it's awful and it exists. But there's things that candidates can do to push past that. And I don't want to be like advertising my YouTube channel, but I do go into detail about that.
No, feel
exact
free.
thing,
You're,
right?
No, please,
I do,
yeah.
I do have a YouTube channel, and I do have a whole
Tell us, share.
video
Do your
all
shameless
about.
plug.
Yeah. So like there's things you can do to get yourself, push yourself apart as a candidate. And one of the few things I think, if you know, or you think that you have something that is a possible red flag to somebody, maybe you think it's your age, maybe you think that you're overqualified, whatever you think that is, you have to figure out as a candidate how to address that, because you have a choice, right? You can either just let it go away, not have the opportunity. But if you're bullish on that job, you have to address the elephant in the room. And you can do that through, there's like, you can make video emails. So you can go on a free service and record your video, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You can hyperlink it and address that to the hiring manager or to the GM. And the open rate on those kind of emails, when you make these personalized emails, is huge. And in that presentation, you can address the elephant in the room. You can say, hey, look, Brian, I really wanted this director of engineering position that I see posted on your website. I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking that I'm overqualified, but I absolutely think that I'm a perfect fit for this role because of A, B, C. And when you address that, I feel like that just sets the reservation in the recruiter's mind a little bit back, and it gives you an opportunity. You know, that's just one thing off the top.
And we're at the time where we're going to ask you to plug your YouTube channel and anything else. But I want to say this because I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. When I said that, you say, yeah, that's terrible. What you meant by, I'm just going to assume this is what you meant. That's not terrible. What's terrible is any discrimination, whether you're
right. Yeah. It is.
Because what's terrible is African Americans and minorities and women have not had the same opportunities that those guys like me that have made it in this industry have had. So it's just like you said. I have a PhD in figuring crap out. That's what everybody has to do. Right. And so just like the minority community had to figure it out, now we have to figure it out. If you're a 50-year-old white person or whatever, you got to figure it out. And once you figure it out, you're going to be okay. But, stop blaming everyone. We got to go. Jeremy, YouTube, talk to me.
Well, I do have a YouTube channel. It's pretty simple. It's my name, Jeremy Nichols. You can look it up. You'll see this beard here, and I think it's a tie on the channel. I also obviously am a recruiter with Gecko Hospitality. So I run the state of Florida for hospitality recruiting, anything from hotels, resorts, restaurants, private estate. We do it all. So if you have a need, reach out to me. If you're a candidate, call me. Even if you don't want to use my services, you want to pick my brain and you want some advice.
How many GMs do you have right now available? How many GM positions?
Oh, GMs? 2 in Florida.
Okay.
You know what it is right now? It's
we got to go. We got to talk next time.
It's chefs.
All right, cool. All right, Jeremy. Thank you so much. We'll definitely get you back. Thank you. All right. So now before we bring on our next guest, let's cleanse our palate with a moment on the Banff cam. Ah, how beautiful is that?
Silence. Just a picture, please. Just a cam, please.
All right. Hold on one second. All right.
Silence. Okay.
All right. Now let's
do
the cam and get on somebody who makes my life more zen. And of course, we're talking about the wonderful, the incredible Sarah Dandashy.
Hi.
There's 2 of them.
2 Sarahs.
She cloned. She cloned. That's how this worked out. That's totally how this worked out.
Who is this, Sarah? For the people who are not watching this, who is this?
Who is this? Well, this is my mother, Kay Frederick. And
hi, everyone.
Yeah. So
they both wore black on purpose because they're blowing my brains out right now.
I know. This is crazy.
They literally folded their hair the same way to really freak it out.
Can you tell we're related? Can you tell?
I can tell that you got good genes and you're going to be good when you're your mom's age.
29. We know you're superhero.
Well, you notice I said your mom's age.
Exactly.
Politically correct. So, Sarah, I was thinking about you. Where the hell you been? Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. It's crazy. Actually, I head out this weekend to Mexico. I'll be in Mexico for a week. I come back. I'm going to Germany after that. There's been a lot going on. So, but it's nice to see, it's just being out there. I mean, obviously you guys have been traveling around as well too.
Have we, Sarah? Have I?
Oh, by the way, okay, I love Banff. It is probably one of my favorite places. And it's stunning. It is stunning. I'm so jealous.
So, Kay, let me ask you a question.
Oh,
What did you do to instill this travel bug and this service bug? And also the most important bug, the bug that I am most like just so enamored with Sarah about is her work ethic. So that's a three-part question.
Three-part question.
Three-part question. One, I took her everywhere with me from 3 weeks old in a basket, carrying her around.
Okay.
Two, I taught her to be independent. And three, I taught her to be self-appreciative and to be bold and to think of herself first. So there she is.
Wow. And that was beautifully said. Now I know where she gets from. But I was just talking to somebody about Sarah, and I was like,
No.
what I admire most. No, I'm serious. Like when I got the show and it blew up and everybody knew who I was, there were a few people that were truly generous in spirit and happy for me. And not envious, but just truly generous of spirit. And as I see Sarah getting more and more successful in her career and how hard she works, every single time I get emotional. It's like my daughter or me. It's happening to me because if somebody says to me she's an overnight success, I'm going to punch him in the face because I see all the work that goes into it. And it's not fluffy work. It's detailed, really difficult work. So anyway, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, well, you're so funny. Well, I mean, and that's the whole thing. You know how it is that, especially all of us, we have our, our appearances online and people have an idea of who we are, which is very much an element of who we are. But, putting in all the work that goes on behind the scenes, whether it is working late on a Friday night or Saturday night, but I also think that it makes sense for us being with our hospitality background because you look at the hours and like how we've worked in the hospitality industry. To me, if you really are like a true hospitality professional and you work those late hours, you miss those holidays, you do all of that, which by the way, I know that was all touched on a little bit earlier about what it's like to be in the industry. That does apply so much to being an entrepreneur as well too, because you're like, hey, I have to sacrifice this for, the long-term goals or the greater good or whatever that is.
And you really have been through the fire because as a concierge, and I can speak to this. The concierge is an entrepreneur that the general manager typically doesn't understand, unless they do, and some of them do. And you are the first people we don't think about and the last people we don't think about. You're not thought of. You don't exist in our lives. Make sure they're happy. Make sure they get in the restaurant and leave us alone. And you, concierge, are like, leave us alone.
Yeah.
So it's been this thing that you had to be an entrepreneur, even as a concierge.
Oh, totally. And imagine, I mean, I fell into the position working in a 5-star 5-diamond hotel in Beverly Hills at 22 years old.
Wow.
So I was like thrown into the fire. I had just moved to Los Angeles and I just became and it really is like, and I've always said this about being concierge, but I think it applies to a lot of roles and positions within the hospitality industry. I mean, I was 22 years old. What did I know about, the Rolex stores or the creme de la creme of Beverly Hills? I just moved here. And so I became really good at being like, I don't know, but let me go ahead and find out for you.
So, Kay, what did you think when your daughter decided to do what she's doing at 22 years old?
Yeah, what did you think?
I was really proud of her because getting into the situation like that, baptism by fire, so to speak, jumping into it and really succeeding from day one because of the way she handled everything. I was just really impressed by her adaptability.
So you obviously inspired her. Who inspired you?
Yeah. Oh, this one. Wait, can I answer that?
Yeah.
I want to answer that. So this one is like a true rebel at heart. So
Oh, yeah?
No, all right. No, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear from her. So
What inspired me?
Yes.
That's really a tough one. I really don't have an answer for that. I just had to dig deeply within myself and come up with something. I grew up very self-conscious and not confident.
Right.
So I wanted to create that in myself and it took me a while to do it.
So what was the moment? What was the moment that you made that decision or that one big accomplishment or that one big goal? Because I always say everybody can talk about confidence and pull yourself by the bootstrap, which is that's overstated. When was it where you're like, okay, I am better than I think I am? What was that moment?
Probably my 30th birthday.
Okay.
Because I was very retrospective, looking back on things, and just decided to take charge.
Why?
This is fun.
Just self-examination and wanting to move ahead and create a better person out of myself.
Wow. I love that. Do you think you were too giving and too soft and people were taking advantage of you?
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what's fascinating about Sarah, because she shows up that way, but she's a UFC fighter.
I totally am. I'm so tough.
I saw you in the octagon. It was pretty good.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing is, I think, you know, I love that you're actually asking these questions, because certainly how I was influenced so much from my mother is this genuine desire to give and to, you know, I don't want to say necessarily people pleaser, even though that is part of it, but it's like you want to make sure that people are having a great time. And there is that element with the hospitality aspect. And so I was always around that and that sort of mindset and attitude, like, what can I do to help or to smooth things over? And so I think that made it a very easy transition for the hospitality.
And do you think listen, anytime somebody says they have shit, I'll tell you why. Because what you're doing, am I allowed to say bullshit?
Now I have to put the explicit warning on the show.
But the reason I say that, because I'm the same way, but I'm a little bit selfish in the sense of I get a hell of a lot more out of serving people than they get from me serving them. Like I am, and that's legit. That's legit. Like I literally, like it's what I live for. It's not so much like, oh, I want them to be happy. It's like, wow, I could really do this for someone. Look at the power that not so much for an ego, but look of like, I am not wasting my position. I am not wasting my influence. I'm not wasting what I can do. If I am a concierge, that's why I love being a concierge. If I was going to be a concierge, I love the fact that I can pick up that phone. I can call that person and solve 37 problems from that person that was just going to spend too much money, too much time, too much energy on getting that reservation. That's what I'm in love with. I'm in love with the power of that.
Well, I think it's also the appreciation factor. You know, if somebody actually appreciates, you know, you want to do it because it's not, it doesn't take you out of it versus feeling like, oh, we know this person is useful. We know this person can help us. And then you kind of feel like you're being like, constantly, you know, tapped on the shoulder for.
I'm going to read a private chat message.
Oh.
I know, I'll jump in. It's all good. I'm just teasing. We're panicking back here. What are you guys panicking about?
Sarah has to be on TV in 2.5 minutes.
I have a TV segment.
And as soon as you were done talking, I was going to very cleverly say, hey, Sarah, you know, it's hard out Thursday. You've got to go. Thank you so much for being here. What final words do you have, Mom? It was so great to meet you. But now you ruined all that, Anthony.
What TV shot are you doing? I want to know.
I'm going to be on with Youngstown, Ohio. We're going to be talking about fall travel options. So if you happen to be in the Youngstown area and are watching, I think it's a Fox station. So
what if I'm in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania? Can I still watch it?
Probably.
All right.
I'm not in Pennsylvania.
I don't know. I just know Ohio and Pennsylvania are near each other. What can I tell you?
Same.
So
I'm over here.
you have 1 minute left.
Anything else?
Sarah, you have 1 minute left.
Yeah, I have 1 minute, and then I have to.
So I'm not going to let you talk. I'm going to ask your mother a question.
Go.
Oh no.
What are you most proud of when it comes to Sarah? In one word. I want one word to use Sarah.
I'm embarrassed.
That's 2 words.
One word to describe Sarah.
Oh gosh, I keep thinking of string chords.
Well,
but
strength.
Confident.
Right. Okay, that's great.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
All right. So go and confidently tell people where they're going to be going in Ohio for fall travel, Sarah. And we're going to get you back, have you come back with the news soon. And wow, Sarah's mom, you are welcome to come back on anytime. Kay.
With or without Sarah?
No, without. She's texting us now that we met Kay. So, you know. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you.
Thanks
for having me.
Bye-bye.
Sarah, I know you can still hear me. Give me the damn book already.
Oh, yeah. Someone asked about that. Do you have any
yes. Okay, no, book. I literally am just waiting for them to give me a launch date. It was supposed to be this week. It was supposed to be 3 weeks ago. So any day now.
Another week, I'm not helping you promote it. So bye.
Okay, fine. I'll tell them.
See ya.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later. Hey, Suzanne, could you pull them out? Because I'm having trouble with my computer for a second. All right, thank you. Sorry, everybody. All right, that was so much fun.
That was weird. Seeing them both together was weird. It's like they're the same person.
Yeah, right. Oh, Cambodia tourism here is totally down. It makes me want to go to Cambodia more and go see Angkor Wat now that there aren't going to be a lot of people around. So
Yeah, now I'd like to know why. Is it because they're not letting people in? It's because people aren't going. Let us know,
Zoran.
And it's so funny because we look at COVID through our prism, through our view is like America. So like I go to Times Square with my friend Glenn and all of a sudden, wow, Times Square is open. And then there's other people. I remember when Tammy was talking to me about Canada and she's like, well, we're still closed down. I was like, it's like, what do you mean you're closed down? We're already open. So and then you go to Florida where I was just there yesterday and I don't know, they solved apparently the COVID problem because like the people I were talking to, it was crazy. It's like it doesn't exist. And I'm not saying bad or good. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying everyone's got a different viewpoint in how they're handling COVID. It's crazy.
It is. And up here in Alberta, Canada, of course, they declared a state of emergency that went into effect on Monday that changed all of the rules for what people have to be thinking about right now. So they have a vaccine passport program that seems to have had success in British Columbia. But Anthony, instead of calling it a vaccine passport program, they're very clever with using words. They're calling it a vaccination exemption program. So if you get your vaccination, you're exempt from a bunch of the rules that they have in.
Yeah, but it sounds like I don't need a vaccine.
Right. But it is trying to frame it as a positive. Go get your vaccine, be safe. And it's really interesting because everywhere I'm going now, and we already have had this in New York for a month, you've got to show your vaccine card in order to get served.
Well, that's the way to get everybody vaccinated.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, Dave Kaiser, the CEO of the Alberta Hotel and Lodging Association, said on Monday, interest spiked. They had like 30,000 new people in this province alone go in and get shots, which is a huge number for the province.
Drum roll, please.
Yes.
You don't have your drum roll?
I can do this. I got this one. Wait, hold on. My thing was down. My level's down.
Okay.
Who's
the Prime Minister of Canada today?
Justin Trudeau stayed. So the election they did, apparently it was a whole bunch of everything's the same now.
Listen, I'm sorry to insult my Canadian friends, but sounds like Canada.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Zoran says they've got 600 cases per day, but the main tourism province is still till 9:30 on total lockdown to the end of the month. So only one more week. Hopefully, Zoran, you guys will start to open up. So you can rent 11 rooms for just $2,400 US. Wow. Jesus.
It's interesting. Canadians want change as long as nothing changes.
I think that's humankind.
That's true. That's actually America.
Yeah.
Change. Just don't change what I want.
That's right.
You change what they want, but don't change what I want.
Listen, I all believe in freedoms as long as your idea of freedoms are exactly the same as my idea.
I got an idea, and I'm going to get in trouble for this. But everybody with a pickup truck, all those people that only those people can get vaccinated now. If we can only get those people vaccinated, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody.
I'm in so much trouble right now with all my friends that own pickup trucks.
Sadly, I think after that comment, this is the last episode we're going to be having here of No Vacancy Live. Just kidding. Of course, we'll be back on Monday. Now, tomorrow, I'm excited because I'm going to be down in Canmore, which I think is about 45 minutes south of here. And we're going to be doing our Friday Night Audit show live from the Malcolm Hotel. Really looking forward to seeing a different area of the mountains, a different community I haven't been to, and hanging out with Andrew Shepard, the general manager. So that'll be a lot of fun.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When will I see you again? Colleen's asking if I'm okay.
I think
Colleen, I'm okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, he's just been busy. So Anthony,
Colleen's mad at me because she lives in Florida and I'm insulting her state.
Are we going to be?
But I'm not insulting your state. I love Florida.
Are you going to be? That's the issue. Are we going to see each other next week, or are we not? Because I know I'll be in Phoenix, assuming I could figure out the COVID test thing and get back into the country. So
I don't know. I've got a lot going on. So I don't have my thing got canceled, but There's some other things I should be doing. So I'll let you know.
And
I'm
then
figuring it out.
another the week after that. We'll see. Right?
Where are we going the week after that? Where are you
Well,
going?
I'm going to Vegas. I don't know about you, man.
When are you going to? Oh, yeah, I have to be there for Vegas. When is that? No, that's what day are you going to be there?
I am going to head out on Monday,
The 3rd.
the 3rd, and stay there through the week.
Well, I was going to be there on Friday, but now it looks like I have to be there on Monday. So maybe I'll come on Monday and stay till Thursday.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hey, guys, that's why you tune into No Vacancy Live. You never know where we are going to be. Who's going to be where? What's
Marlene, I like Florida. I don't hate Florida. Florida has some of my best memories.
Yep. Wait. All right. Now I want to wrap this up, but
I'll show you how much I love Florida.
guys, you give us hope that we can still do something in the hospitality industry. Yeah, man, you can do it. You're putting all the hard work in there, and you have the power to think differently. You have the power to be successful. But remember, failing is okay too. If just you fail and you recognize it, you move on to the other thing. The thing is, Anthony, right? We talked about that great reset. Now's the time to experiment. Now's the time to try new things.
Listen, I'm going to answer that question in a second, but Colleen, this tell you how much I love Florida, okay?
What's
all right? That was my favorite treat growing up when I was a kid, and I bought some yesterday when I was down there because that's how much I miss it. Okay, this is how I feel. Be obsessed with finding people that can help you.
Yep.
Stop being obsessed with what you can do. Stop being obsessed what I just need a break. Be obsessed with finding people that you can leverage. Now, that sounds terrible. Well, I don't want to use people. Yes, you do. Use us. I'm going to start cursing. We are here every day. We know everybody. We almost never get anybody saying, hey, Anthony, can you help us? I mean, the people I do get to help, they send me DMs that are 4 pages long asking me come down and turn around my hotel. I'm not doing that. But if you're a young kid, if you're a person, an older person, and you're looking for a job, we can probably point you in the right direction. We probably know people. If you're listening to the show, there's resources. Become obsessed with people that can help you and then leverage that. Get on a plane, get in a boat, walk, drive, bicycle. Stop this bullshit of people pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You can't pull yourself up by the bootstraps if you don't have leverage. And leverage is used when you know somebody that can help you. That's it. I'm done.
Right. Beautiful. Let's get out of here, Anthony. We're already way over our normal time. I like how we say we're going to do shows for 45 minutes and then go an hour and 10. You know?
Well, I don't ever, unless I have an appointment. Like right now, I have like a half hour. So when but Glenn, I just dropped something that's pretty. Like I feel pretty passionate about, and all you got to say is we got to go. You have nothing to say about that?
I mean, I could talk all.
Look at you! Look at you! What did you do? What did you do to help leverage this podcast?
Right.
What did you do?
What did I do? I use it as a great opportunity to meet new people and extend my career to other avenues.
No. Yes or no?
All right. So what's
you
the
asked the person like Anthony to be on, and now we've helped leverage this together. Yep. I couldn't do this without you, and I don't know if we could get to where it is without me. Right. So we're both together on this. You leveraged me, I leveraged you, but somehow we became friends, and somehow we have a great podcast, and the leverage doesn't mean anything anymore.
That's right. That's right. That is very true. It's a really good point. And you just got to go out there, ask people for help. One of the interesting things that people, Anthony, always say, I don't want to ask for help, blah, blah, blah. That person's so busy. But if somebody helps you, they have much more self-interest in making sure you are successful.
And also, Glenn, I'm going to double down on what you just said.
Yeah.
Busy people are the ones that will help you. The reason they're busy is because people give them shit to do.
Yep.
Okay. Busy people are used to being busy. So what they've figured out, busy people have figured out how to schedule themselves.
Right.
They've figured out what's important to them and what's not important to them. So if you're not important to them, you will not get help from them. Go somewhere else.
But and now you guys have me.
Yay!
Exactly. But exactly. Suzanne's helped me in not only this, but other things. So
right.
Like busy people will figure it out. Again, my greatest thing is time management. Someone tells me, hey, I need to talk to you. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in a car on Thursday at 4:00. Call me at 4:05. I'll just be putting Google Maps in and I'll be going. Call me 4:05. Call me 4:07. I'm probably talking to somebody else. Leverage people. Be okay. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel like, oh my God, I'm embarrassing myself. Oh my God, this person's going to think less of me. We exist in the world to help each other. And those people that don't want to help you won't help you.
Right.
But most people will.
Yep. And don't be afraid to ask for help. People don't do that enough. Get out there, ask for help. Let them help you be successful, and then work your ass off.
And there's different ways, right? So if I'm going to ask somebody for help and I want leverage, I am not going to do it in a way that's going to be offensive to them.
Right.
So I'm going to know who they are. I'm going to know what makes them tick. I'm going to make what company. I'm going to figure out what day in a week or what time of day I think maybe I should hit them with a DM. Mm-hmm. Like there's thought into using leverage. There's thought. Like I'm not going to DM somebody at 9:15 in the morning. Right. Just not going to do it because we're all starting our day. We're all busy. We're all doing our email. So when I get that, I'm like, all right, delete, next, later. But 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, I'm sitting there doing TikTok and the DM pops up on LinkedIn. I'm more apt to look at that because I'm looking at LinkedIn and TikTok at 10 o'clock at night, right? And most people are kind of relaxing at that time, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock after dinner. So there's a skill to using leverage, and you should not be embarrassed by it. I've always been embarrassed. I'm still embarrassed by it. It's still difficult for me to do. It's still difficult for me to ask for help, but I'm in a position right now that I don't need it as much as I did when I was 22. Mm-hmm. So at 22 years old, I was scared. And I'm telling you, people in big positions don't bite. They want to help you.
Yeah, absolutely true. Seriously, he is 100% right. People do want to help, particularly in the hospitality industry. So again, get out there and all of that kind of stuff. Anthony.
So one more second. Colleen is asking me if I've had something to drink. That's weird today. Let me tell you something, Colleen. I'm at the end of my rope with people. I'm at my end of the rope of people feeling sorry for themselves. I'm at the end of the rope with people saying people won't help me. We're divided in this country. We're divided in this world. Help yourself. Talk to people, be comfortable with people. Don't just because they're on the red side or the blue side or the vaccine side and not vaccine side, hate people, right? People are complicated. People are, if you don't want to be around those people, then don't. But don't spend your day hating them. Don't spend your day being on Twitter spewing bad things about them. Go be successful. Don't hate on them. You don't have to like them. You don't have to be around them. But spend the time in making you a better person, because making you a better person, you will make this world a better person. And I'm sick and tired of people having opinions about other people's opinions and not be able to back up their own damn opinion. Just work on you and shut the up.
Right. And you know what I think about that? I don't like opinions. I don't.
You know what?
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. All right, everybody, let's get the hell out of here.
There was a great billboard that says, if you don't like oh my God, I'm going to screw it up. If you don't like gay marriage, don't get gay married. Right, I think that was the best billboard on the east side of New York ever on a storage unit, storage building. Right. It said, if you don't like gay marriage, don't get gay married. That's how I feel. It's like, if you don't like it, just don't do it. Just get the hell out of everybody's way and be successful in whatever makes you happy.
Except for vaccines. Go get those. That'll keep you healthy.
I would love for everybody to get a vaccine, but I'm not going to spend 90 hours of my day screaming at you on Twitter saying to get the vaccine. I'm going to have a gentle conversation with people I can influence and hopefully help them. And I've influenced a couple of people, but I'm not going to get angry and scream at people on Twitter.
Right. That's absolutely correct. All right, everybody. Instead, Anthony, of going to our regular graphic, why don't we use this beautiful graphic today? You want to download?
I was thinking the same thing, Glenn. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, were you? Want to download our show? Go to, you know where to get it, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere that you like to download your shows. Well, we get our shows. You could get our show there. No Vacancy Live, of course, airs Monday through Thursday, noon Eastern time. Friday Night Audit is, of course, our drinking show that airs on Friday night. Anthony, I'm going to go take a gondola up to the top of one of these mountains after I do a little work today. So,
so your mother would be proud of you when you were in high school. She goes, or if you want to come on our drinking show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're funny. Hey man, I miss you, and I'm a little jealous that I'm not with you.
And that makes me really happy because anytime like you're somewhere and I'm not with you, I'm jealous too. So what can I tell you?
All right, brother.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Remember, you've got one life, so blaze on, and
mind your own business. Be kind to yourself.
All right, we'll see you guys next week, unless of course you're going to watch Friday Night Audit tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern.